Hi you guys, welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker and welcome to the updates for Q2 2023 goals and reviews. So if you missed last Thursday's video or if you missed Tuesday's video, I am in the process of moving. So things are going to be not on track for goals as the year continues. Not that I'm doing spectacular on my goals. I was at least making some progress. The last week I would have actually had a number of hats and scarves ready to donate if we had not gotten the news we were going to be moving and I needed to start making the house ready to sell. So it's been very... I promise you guys, it's only 10:30 in the morning. I haven't been drinking. It's been very higgledy-piggledy, very stressful, chaotic over here. I do have a giant tub of things knit. I just never finished them, so they never got weighed. So I did not hit my 10-pound goal for June. I probably won't do it in July either. But tomorrow we're going to look at houses, and I am taking a blanket project with me. I'm going to start joining granny squares together. I've been joining corner to corner squares that I made in 2022. Now we're going to start joining some of those granny squares because I have a 30-gallon tote full of squares. I am also going to continue working on my bedspread blanket using the DK weight scraps in the corner to corner. So I'm very excited. There is progress being made, but boy, howdy, am I exhausted. Whew. All right, on with the goal updates. So if you guys are not familiar, this is my crafting journal. I made this in 2022, decided to hold it over for 2023 because I did not make that many projects. A lot of what I worked on in 2022 was actually the scrap squares. So I have lots of pieces ready to go in things. They're just not finished. So I use a tutorial from May Made It. She has a whole section on her channel in the playlist for covering or upcycling or decorating, I don't know what she calls it, the composition notebooks. This is from the second, I followed the second tutorial series, but there are a couple of different types of journals she has made on there, and they all incorporate very similar things. The one thing I will say is 100% I prefer using a dry adhesive to do my covers, because you don't end up with any seepage or anything like that. So, and this is a photo play paper pack, and it's called like Gnome Crafts or something like that. It's a whole gnome themed, gnome and crafts. Anyway, so in here, let's flip back to the right here. I have my goal sheet. You can see some more well, we have one more highlighted here, but we do have highlighted goals here. So things have gotten finished. I have met certain goals. So we're going to run down the list here. I am still working on my low buy. I may have the numbers actually. I didn't mean to. So this quarter, I made a purchase that's going to be a gift, and it will possibly be my gift for myself this quarter because I did make enough progress. I feel like I deserve a gift just because I'm also stressed out too. Solid yarn balls. I sold $25 worth. April FOs were $3.49. May FOs were $30. I made a purchase for $100, and I added another $41 to my goals. So right now my budget is $193.70, I think. So for every 100 grams of yarn that I get in an FO, I can then purchase $1 worth of yarn. Actually, I can do better because I have a final total. I don't have to brain math it. Total FOs, I'm actually at $218 worth, and I've made a $100 purchase. That can't be right. What am I doing wrong? 118. I've got math wrong. because I had 189 starting off. Oh, that doesn't include what I sold. Yeah, that kind of throws a monkey wrench in there. So anyway, I don't quite have a number for you, but it's over I'm right at $200 that I can still purchase right now based on my current FOs. I have a feeling in about 30 minutes I'm probably going to crash. I've been up since 4:30. I haven't worked today. We had church and stuff like that, but I'm already like feeling the fog. Anyway, Finisher Frog 2022 WIPs. So I know I frogged at least one. For 2022, let's see what I still have in here left to go. We're going to call the Jada 2022 blanket done. I'm not going to do anything with that. Spring blanket that I started last year, I still want to finish, so that's still in progress. I have my crocheted log cabin shawl that I'm still in the process of doing. Casper the Snowman was supposed to be done this month, but will not happen. Charlie the gingerbread, I think she's done. I don't know. I think I just need to weigh her. Do a final weight for her. I do have my lemon peel blanket still in process. And that's all the projects from 2023 I still have left. So we've actually made really good progress towards that goal. I did also in my old WIPs, I pulled out some socks I'm still working on. I've got another pair of half-made socks. The heels are turned. It's just working down to the toes now. But 2 at a time always feels so long for me. I like doing 2 in tandem, I think, not 2 at a time. Anyway, I still have those out. I finished the Advent shawl, the Advent of Disappointment shawl. I did finish that, so that was a big whip off my thing. There's something else that I finished. I can't remember what it was. It was a pre-2022 project. Anyway, so we are still making progress through this. It's just very slow going. I did 0 spinning so far, and probably at best it's going to be Q4 before I have time to do any spinning, and even then that's a huge maybe. I have still only finished 42 cards, but I did do 4 journals. So I did 2 super basic journals and 2 basic with a little detail journals. Pounds and FOs. So far I'm up to 48 pounds, 48.2 pounds of total finished objects. And my goal was 75 pounds. So I am really getting close to that goal. Even with the move, assuming I don't do anything big for the rest of the year, I still should be able to make that goal. Especially like since my cards end up like, because I probably won't have time to make any new cards for Halloween, but I might have time for Christmas to squeeze it in if I can get everything set up and ready to go. As long as we're not in temporary housing that long, as long as we can get this house sold quickly and find a house in Columbia fairly quickly, I might have time to do Christmas cards, and that will be like 5 pounds. I mean, every year the Christmas cards ends up being way more weight than I think they ought to be. Finishing 5 12 by 12 notepads, and I wanted to do 5 6 by 6 paper pads. So far I've still only completed the 1 12 by 12 paper pad. I did no card crafting or anything like that. The paper pack that I am using to cover the prayer journals it's a big thing of paper, so it's going to be a long time before I finish that. Finished 10 rolls of washi tape. So this is now marked off the list. So this quarter alone, I had 14 rolls of washi tape plus 1 roll of double-sided tape in my empties bin here. So I'm very excited about that. We finished like the Illustrated Faith one. I've got a Scott's here that's finished. I've got a number of the smaller rolls here done. I did finish, oddly enough, okay, so I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound really weird, but if IKEA has washi tape, it is worth purchasing. It sticks really well. It lasts forever, and it's actually a lot on a roll. I can't always promise they have it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And frequently it matches whatever like the stationery is for the season, so it could be a little weird looking. But I've, over the years, found some really cool washi tape from them, and I did finish 2 rolls, and I've been using that for years now. It just takes forever to use up, even using 14 rolls in a quarter. But I love it. It just works perfectly, and it's really cheap because IKEA. But yeah, I had a couple IKEA rolls that I finally finished. I was actually surprised I finished those. Zero sewing. I have 18 total rolls. So I did 4 in Q1, 14 in Q2. Now, a lot of that is doing the washi tape in the journals, but still, that's a lot of washi tape used. Zero sewing. I still have not made any donations. Now, in prepping to move, I will have a number of things going out to be donated. So we will have that number go up. I have a stack of shawls ready to go. I have some blankets ready to go, and I have some hats and scarves ready to go. I also need to block some shawls before I send them out. So that number will go up actually, but right now I have donated nothing. I have sent nothing out, but I do have things ready to be sent out. Washi donations. I have not worked on cotton yet. That will be something that I go ahead and keep in like my go bag to have in temporary housing or in the car as we're doing these trips back and forth. Finished a sweater. I made a sweater. I finished one. I made the rosy tee. It's absolutely adorable. I still have some ends to weave in, and then I need to put it in my to go with me clothes I'm keeping with me stack. Finished 10 blankets. So far I have completed 6. I have 3 scrap gans in process. I have 2 of the corner to corner donation blankets in process, plus the corner to corner bed blanket, king size bed blanket in process. Then I have my hexagon blanket in process, my lemon peel blanket in process, my spring blanket in process. And tomorrow, as we are going to look at houses in Columbia, I'm going to have 3 hours in the car to crochet. So I am taking the granny squares with me to start joining a granny square blanket. So lots of blankets could get done by the end of the year. I have lots of options on that one. And I mean, I only need 4 more to meet the goal. I am this close. I have 2 this close to being done in the corner to corner. I almost had them done in time for the end of this quarter. Just saying. I am making progress on my limited stash. I originally said no yarn scraps, but I'm going to say limited yarn scraps. So my worsted weight scraps are immediately going into these scrap blankets. Plus I started the 1-inch thing. Why did I do this? But I also started a scrap fingering weight scarf wrap thing. I have expanded that out to be the width of what would be appropriate for a shawl wrap, but that it's so lightweight, it could also be worn as a scarf. It would fold over nicely around your neck as well. So we are making brilliant progress on that. I'm very excited by that. DK weight, the DK weight and sport weight acrylic scraps are going into the bed blanket as well. So even those are being used as we go. This quarter, I used 42 skeins or hanks, finished them off, or they didn't get counted towards last quarter. That has happened too. We have 19 skeins of impeccable, 3 cakes, and 19 skeins of fingering for Q2. So Q1, we had this many. Q2, we only had this many. So half as many. Well, not even half as many because this is 21. That says 40. Well, 40. Oh, I did the... I counted by the 100-gram groups for the fingering weight. So yeah, 42 ball bands here, whereas we had 112 last quarter. Now the bulk of that fingering weight blanket was in here. I just had some balls in the last group here. I have made progress through the so fingering weight, the goal, I've got these upside down and backwards from each other. I wanted to use 10 100-gram Hanks/Skeins of fingering weight yarn. I am up to 40 for the year. Way exceeded that goal. Bulky yarn, I still don't have any. Finished 25 cakes of yarn. Right now I'm at 9, but I do have some that are going into a project now, as well as the single skeins under here that will probably go with me to temporary housing. Work down Red Heart Impeccable. I'm doing brilliant with this. So far, I have used 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 34 with ball bands. And I think I'm missing some. So, once again, I do have the bins out there for the knitting machine, but we're now to, like, all of it fits neatly in like 2 or 3 cubes over here. So we're golden. I have not used any of my hand dyed or hand spun. So actually this says I used 20 acrylic worsted weights this quarter alone. So what does this say? It says 20 last quarter too. I think I'm specifically just counting the Red Hearts and Impeccables. I'm not counting like the Ices, the Universals, the Premiers. I think that's part of it. I also used most of 2 Karen 1 pound or Karen Jumbos. Just they didn't have their ball band on them anymore. So anyway, there's that. You can see where, you know, there's still lots of things that I haven't even started using this year that are on my tally of supplies used. I've done none of the dishcloths and mug rugs. I have not put in my cards and journals, which I can do that right now. We have 42 and 4. We've done 1 sweater, which is fantastic. 7 shawls. I quit counting hats and scarves, actually. I need to get back up to date on that. But the last count was 5, 10, 15, 20, 28 scarves and 28 hats. And I know that's not right because I know last month I didn't tick these off. So I do need to make up on that. I have not done any of the patterns that I picked out. Yeah, Brioche Cowl, Stephen West Shawl. I do have the yarn pulled together for Stephen West Shawl. So I pulled these together from my Yarnable 8/ALC stuff. I have not packed these yet. I am debating on taking these just in case this is something I want to use while unpacking or in temporary housing. So I may cake these up. I'm thinking about pairing these with a gray. I think black is going to blend in too much with the darker plums and tones like that. Also, I think it might just get obscured, but I think a gray and maybe a medium tone gray would work beautifully with all these colors. So I do need a neutral or a solid to tie these all together, but that's what I'm thinking. I don't want to do white. I think that would be too stark. We have too much saturated color in these yarns. So I am thinking gray. Once again, that's just my favorite neutral. It's my favorite blender. I've told you guys that before and before and before. But right now, I do have the yarn pulled together for Stephen West Shawl. I do want to do a Farrell hat. I want to do my pickle jar hat. I do have the scarf in the thing to go with me to temporary housing. 5 projects from books. My books are about to be packed, so that might be a little bit harder. Maybe we'll do some, focus on some older patterns that I have in my collection. The Architecture scarf, I do have that in a kit together. I did have to frog it last time I started it. That may also go with me to temporary housing. I only want 1, maybe 2 think about it projects with me. So I haven't chosen what's going to, because I can have like a bag for the house when we first move in and a bag for temporary housing. Like we can do this in twosies. Then I had Around Every Corner shawl, the Bellatrix shawl, and the Candy Skull cowl. So that's another Farrell project. So I haven't started any of these this year. I could easily pull together something, I think, for the Bellatrix shawl to take with me. And I think that would be pretty easy to work on as like a mental recharge thing. But I am taking the blanket, so I will have like mindlessly worked on projects too. I'm just not there yet. Like I said, my brain is 900 different places at once, and it's just not working out for me. once again, for some reason, every time I use this coffee cup, something vintage or retro or coordinating seems to be what I use or wear. Anyway, so I'm not sure when this video is going to be uploaded. I am going to go ahead and give myself a prize. Let me, hold on just 1 second. Okay. So last quarter's prize was this little Koju paint kit. And by the way, this is the pattern that came with that when I placed that order from WIPs. And I've been holding things aside to treat myself with if I'm doing well on my goals. They do not count towards my low buy. They only are prizes. This is motivation, so it shouldn't count against me. It should count for me. So earlier this year, we went up to Concord, North Carolina, and I went to a Kiwi yarn. If you are in the area, stop by and see the Kiwis. They are wonderful. They are very funny. If you want to sit and knit, they are more than happy to sit and chat with you guys. I love going up there shopping. But I bought 3 of these. This is Jody Long, I believe. I think it's Jody Long. Yeah, Jody Long Flora Cotton Summer Tweed, designed in Prato, Italy. This is the color Pansy, which is 004. These are 100% cotton, 270 meters, 295 yards, 100 grams, 3.52 ounces. So I bought enough to be able to do a tank top with. So that is my prize for this quarter. So now that can be integrated into my stash and I get to have it immediately. I do still have 2 prizes left over there. Well, I have 1 prize and 1 could be an advent. Like if I do a self-build advent again. So anyway, I am giving myself a prize. I do think I made really good progress. I completed some really big goals. I am super duper close to completing even larger goals this year. So I personally feel like I deserve it. Plus, I'm over 50% of the way to the weight goal for this year, which is a big deal. I mean, 75 pounds is a lot of product to be working through. So I'm very pleased with myself. I'm not going to lie. I deserve a treat. So I will be making something very pretty out of this. I do have enough for a sweater. I could always decide to make a shawl. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I bought it with the intention to make a sweater. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastic day. As always, I love you, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye, guys.